Okay, so this is a simple star passing drill. I use this for passing, movement, and timing. This lays the foundation for kids to think in patterns that will help them create attacking scenarios so that when they get into the game, it's more of a pattern that they've practiced and it's not unfamiliar. This is the simple foundation one I teach first, and then after I get this one going well, then I change up the way the ball moves. That'll be in further parts, so this is part one. Check this out. Okay, so this is how I set the kids up. Passing goes as such. Pass up, turn, pass out. While that passes out is happening, this player will make a nice overlapping run. Pass comes back out. Pass to the front of the other line. Simple, simple, simple. So up, out, around, through. Hit the target the other side.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Up, turn, pass out. Nice overlapping run. Ball through. Ball played to the front. That way.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, finally, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Start a ball here. Teach it. Once they get the pattern down, then I'll add another ball in here. That we're getting twice as many touches. I hate kids standing in line. Let's be honest. If there's 3 people in line at the grocery store, we ask for quicker service, right? Why should we make the kids stand in line? So here's the rotation pattern. Rotation pattern is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 to 2. 2 is just an extra player in the middle. It works to help to have kids time, just so they have time to check in. You can keep the ball moving fast. If you have to wait for the rotation to come around, the kids get caught up too and just throws your whole thing off. So having an extra player in the middle, just step into 3. When it's their turn, it keeps it smooth. These kids will stay on this side here. These players stay on this side. So 1/2 and 1/2. Yes, it does get confusing. Yes, it does screw them up, but you want them to think, not just pass and follow, but sometimes they need to move different directions. So you're forcing them into a situation where they got to keep their brains on. It does take a few minutes to get this down. The better focused the kids are, the more likely you can pick it up. I have used this with kids that are 7 and 8 years old, and they have done just fine. The challenge comes when you try to make it more difficult. So details matter. You're always going to hear me talking about to my kids that the details make a huge, huge difference. Okay, when the kids are playing, I'm looking for a few things. One, I'm looking for how they play the ball. I'm looking for the weight of their pass. I'm looking for how they receive the ball. And then the last thing I'm looking for is movement. What we're teaching by playing this foundation is overlapping, receive, turn, communication. So when this player here is making their nice long run going around the outside, what communication do they give to their player to let them know that they're coming, right? Putting a name on a pass makes a huge difference in a game, right? So we're looking for all of these things. We should probably add, in talking, right? Talk. I don't know about you, but the only time I can ever get my players to shut up is when I ask them to talk in some sort of activity. This is the best way to get them to shut up. It's crazy. But what you can do here as coaches is just start teaching this pattern. This is part 1. We will do part 2, where I will give you a much more complex pattern. The movement will stay the same, but how we move, or the player movement will stay the same. How we pass the ball around will move. That way it changes, again, how they play the ball, the weight of their pass, how they're receiving it, and of course their movement off the ball. So we're just forcing our players to think, not just knock a pass, but why they knock a pass, how they hit the pass. We're working on the whole thing. This will transpire into the game. So this is what we're looking for. Quite simple. Try this. Sometimes the other questions I had, question I had on a bigger video, shorter video, a lot of question was distance. How much distance do I have from player down here on the bottom to this one? Age depending, right? So if they are, I don't know, somewhere between 8 to 10, I'm looking for 10 to 15 yards. If they're older than that, I'm looking for passes that are 20 to 25 yards. So 10 and up. Okay, just general rules of thumb that I've used. Yes, you can make it smaller for bigger kids, and then if it is smaller for the bigger kids, you're looking for speed, right? It has to be speed tight, speed tight. You want them to not get bigger passes because chances are this is the sort of pattern that you're going to use to get from the midfield third into the attacking third. In the attacking third, yes, it might be smaller, but the passing movement will still be similar. While we can't make the game exactly like they're going to see, what we do is we can make this rhyme with what they're going to see in a game. So that's what we're looking for. Part one, simple. Teach it, have fun with it. And then you can always make it creative by making this player here how they turn the ball. They're receiving it across their body. A lot of times I like to get the kids to try to turn out the outside of their foot, so they take the ball side on and turn outside. A lot of times I'll try to get them to do some sort of Cruyff or chop turn so that it adds an element of deception in. All right? Of course, they're going to screw up. You just ask them to do it like faster, faster, again, again, again. If you do this for 15 minutes-ish, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on your team, a couple times a week, it's just a routine, you will see huge return on your time investment. I highly recommend it, especially once we get to some other patterns of moving the ball. It'll help your team grow. So you don't get stuck in the same thing here. You're forcing them to routinely make runs, routinely talk, routinely hit the weight of a pass that they were going to have to do in a game anyway. So this is teaching through a huge amount of repetition. And again, add a couple of soccer balls. If there's extra people in line, put them in the back, right? Put them in the back there. That way they can step in and rotate. You want the players within this to be moving. No standing in line, right? No extra players in the way. Move. Okay? If you have too many players, set up two grids of this, 3 grids of this. Last night I should have had 3 grids of this going because I had too many players in standing in line, and it just bothers me. I don't want to see anybody stand in line. I want them moving. You know, if you have 1 or 2 in line, okay, that's fine. 5 or 6, it's too many. Make another drill. Okay? Hey, I hope this all helps you. We're just trying to provide some value. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you subscribing. We're up to, I think, 196 or 197 subscribers. So thank you. And we appreciate you. I'll see you on the soccer field.